Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Total Truth Show. And here on the Total Truth Show, we want to help you break free from the lies and propaganda of the mainstream media, all the disinformation and misinformation. We want to help you blast through all of that. And my name is Ken Kleinberg, coming to you all the way from the USA, San Diego, California.
And I'm Alden Altanay, known as the Media Queen from the Gold Coast in Australia.
There is a great awakening happening in the world right now, and you're going to want to come along for the ride.
A lot of lies are coming to the surface. There's a lot of awakening happening. And as this awakening is happening, people realize they've been deceived for years. They've been lied to for years around all sorts of things. A lot of people have been blind to what has been going on in the world, and now they're starting to see. They're starting to see things in a different light.
Through our show, we want to raise global consciousness to quantum critical mass. And we don't want you just to accept the things that we're saying. That goes for our guests as well. We want you to do the research for yourself. Get out there and start questioning things. Start looking things up. Do the research. We want to pave the way for a new awakened world. And we want you to come along for the ride. So with that, let's get started, you guys. Let's dive into today's episode. Once again, welcome.
Welcome to Total Truth Show episode 137. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a doozy. This show is going to be absolutely awesome. I have one of my favorite human beings here as our guest. Dr. Gary Wollman is in the house. Hello, Gary. Great to see you. And of course, Ken Kleinberg, my co-host. Great to see you as well. We are sharing today the truth about sharing embodied wisdom. And Gary is an absolute expert on this. So before we get into the main conversation, let's just introduce Gary. He is known as the presentation doctor. He's a seasoned, highly experienced speaker, trainer, and author. He's internationally recognized communication skills coach, specializing in presentation skill training for a wide cross-section of the professional community. And this includes those in leadership, managing directors, executive management teams, presenters, performers, and entrepreneurs. He also has extensive expertise in conflict resolution, team building, and stagecraft platform skills development. His speaking, coaching, and training, together with the videos, audios, and published materials he has produced, enable presenters to communicate with renewed vitality, authenticity, and confidence. In both his live and online sessions, Dr. Gary provides opportunities to make presentation breakthroughs and release patterns of holding back one's passionate presence, caring, and full self-expression to speak from the heart, from one's innermost core in all stages of life. As speaker's mentor, he specializes in enhancing the full-bodied engagement, interactive impact, and effectiveness of live and recorded presentations, navigating the online stage and assisting CEOs, executive managers, developing leaders, staff members, speakers, athletes, entertainers, and those on top of their game to bring out their voice, their message, and their wisdom, to be fully heard, seen, and received as they've dreamed possible. Welcome to the show, Dr. Gary Wollman.
Oh, thank you so much, Aldrin and Ken. It is such a pleasure and honor and joy to be with you, my friend of 20 years. We've known each other. And we just recently reconnected a couple of days ago, and out of the blue, the bloom of in June, around noon for me, this absolute incredible opportunity to reach you, heart-centered entrepreneur who are listening, watching, and experiencing this show. On with the show, Aldwin.
Yes, thank you, Gary. Now, interestingly, you reached out to me after you saw an article in Excel magazine. For those that remember, people know Roger Hamilton, who started the Wealth Dynamics profile, and I had a series of articles I was doing in there, articles really magazine articles in there that were ongoing around, soul searching, and interviewed some phenomenal entrepreneurs. And you reached out to me and contacted me. I said, do you remember that?
Not only do I remember that, I remember the story before the story, because I didn't know about any articles you wrote. Since this session, for those of you listening, watching, and experiencing, is about embodying wisdom and how to access embodied wisdom, I did what I've done my whole life. I saw your photo, and your photo spoke to me. And it's the words, the consciousness, the conversation, the dialogue that I was in touch with. I didn't actually even know about the article yet. I think I might have read it and was impressed because you're such a good writer and communicator. But the photo said to me, call me. I'm a friend. I'm a good friend. I'm a deep friend. I'm a future friend. I'm a deep connection for you. Call me. And I didn't know what honestly, the form of our relationship was. You're beautiful. Is it a sexual? Is it a personal? It turned out we the best of friends and colleagues over decades, and we support each other in so many breakdowns to breakthroughs. So I honor you, dear sacred friend. That's how we met. Your photo spoke to me in a form of embodied wisdom.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you. My photo in the magazine, that is, and it wasn't one of those it wasn't an X-rated magazine. It wasn't a photo of me with my clothes. It was just my headshot.
It's just what you look like now. It was similar. You got this shining, beatific generosity of spirit, and you know that about you. I know your history. That sense when we look at, when we listen to, when we experience embodied wisdom, what happens? Pause for a minute. I'm going to give you a short story. I'm full of stories. Point, example, application, a triangle, the P formula, PEA for you entrepreneurs that are listening, to have each point that we're making be embodied by an example or story or metaphor, and then the application for the audience. PEA, the cycle of communication. You were just mentioning something. Please refresh my memory so I'll know where I took a branch off.
Well, we were talking about, you saw the photo in Excel magazine. I joked that it wasn't
that's right. So I was reminded of a story to tell you. And this has happened many times in my life. It's happened many times in your life, you who are seeing, watching, and experiencing. And that is this. I was at a national national conference in New York City, and I met a man there named Robert, who was an athlete in Fire Island, and he saw my theatrical, creative, athletic nature and said, there's a woman I want you to meet. And I said, oh, who's that? Oh, she's got a couple of sons. You're on the same wavelength. She's so creative, and you need to meet her. She lives in Virginia Beach. That was like 5 or 6 hours south. And the moment, this is my point, that I heard her voice, I knew this is a future relationship. I never even saw her. And we started to have 3.5-hour conversations every night for weeks. And then I figured it's not much longer to drive down there. I drove down. Her husband was driving out of the driveway at the same time. We started a relationship. I heard it in the sound. That's how profound embodied wisdom can be of her voice. I wanted to give a beautiful example, and one more that I knew I was going to share during the show. Yep, this is the particular one. If there were a key moment where I learned more than any other moment that I can recall in this life, embodied wisdom, it was the moment when I was graduating from Johns Hopkins University, pre-medical, didn't get into medical school. I had always had everything I ever wanted up to that point, sent to the best camps, the best schools. I won the award in my high school, my private high school, for the one student with the best combination of athletics and academics. But I didn't believe in myself. I had a sense of I'm not enough, never could be enough for my mom. And this story that I carried in that stage of my life. Refresh my mind again where we are. You were just talking about.
Initially, it was the photo in the magazine you're talking about, and you were saying trust your embodied wisdom. That you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't get into medical school, and my fraternity brother from Johns Hopkins his father was a psychiatrist. So I felt moved to fly up to Boston and to ask him, because I applied to 40 medical schools. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get in. I thought I was going to be a child psychologist. This is the psychiatrist. That's the story I told myself. And the man looked at me, his father, when I was at not a psychiatry session, but just a friend, talking to his son's fraternity brother. And I explained to him why I wanted to be a doctor. But here's what happened. Getting to the point about embodied wisdom. Now I'm giving you an example, and you see how that applies to you, PEA formula. And he turned to me, the psychiatrist, and he said, "Son, I have to tell you something. I have just heard you say all the things that we love about doctors. They're influential, they're wealthy, their status in society, all these wonderful things that the attributes of what you can get by being a doctor. Of course, your desire to serve. Yet, to be honest with you, I see in front of me, 1973, a young man, I was 20 years old, who is full of passion, creativity, and there's a new field just beginning right now called humanistic psychology, visual therapy, and there's some schools, California schools of professional psychology, that are burgeoning this new personal development career. I think you could have your own methodology, and you would really be true to yourself and being absolute leader in that field. And I left his office, his home, through the streets of Boston. This is the moment I was leading to. And my whole body was sounding, shouting, singing, yes, 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 yes. It was the first moment that I can remember in this lifetime having a somatic, embodied wisdom of that it was so right for me, that my whole body was sounding, singing, shouting to the depths of my own knowing, flowing, growing, glowing. And I moved to San Francisco, and I started a life. I kept moving west my whole life. Now I'm New York, California, Hawaii, New Zealand, Australia, Bali, Thailand. Now I'm comfortably in this permaculture community in the eastern part of Australia, 550 meters above sea level, totally off grid, 3 hours from the nearest city, a far stretch from New York City. Hello, everyone.
Oh, I love it. What a journey, Gary. Oh my gosh. So you've been in Australia now how long?
29 years.
Wow. 29 years. That's extraordinary. You were saying the other day, married several times. You've had four times. Yes, that's extraordinary.
Wow.
Not in my book. It was what happened. It wasn't extraordinary. It's what happened. Because each of the women that I met, one in my late 20s, one in my 30s, one in my 40s, one when I was in my 60s, each one represented a certain quality of a gifted muse that I held close to me. One had the gift of being able to be a graphic artist, and she could create clay sculptures and power objects out of stone and gold and silver, and amazing. I'm still in communication with her. Others, there were writers who could do hand readings and know a person's whole history by feeling your hand. Such wisdom. And yet, every single one I had to break out of as I felt trapped. I have such a free spirit. And people have turned to me over many years of my life, said, "What are you doing trying to get into another relationship?" I have a longing for belonging because I'm so eccentric. And the only way I could find my own path, with my mom and dad saying, "This is what we brought you up for," put me into a box, was my first words to my mom. which wanted to help me walk. No, self. I am a stand for everyone to find our own inner authority. And in the presentation coaching, as the presentation doctor that I've grown into over these last 50 years, I'll be 75 this year, has been a way to take all of this prowess in springboard diving, gymnastics, track, body therapy, court jester work, and to physicalize, visualize, visceralize, to make tangible one's self-talk and every communication, to have a sensate, engaging connection. I was just practicing when I had some time before the show, some affirmations. And I noticed when I was sharing the affirmations to myself out loud while listening to them and reading them, I like to multi-sensorize. That's right, multi-sensorize, so it lands deeper in the core of the body. I noticed that when I moved my body to make pictures of what I was hearing, I digested the information more. So to me, this is all about embodied wisdom. For me, I was at Johns Hopkins University. I was in a human sexuality class. I was near the back row. I remember the teacher talking about chromosomes, and it was scientific. It wasn't about, having sex, but I was in, and what did I perceive? I heard about this teacher's relationships with their mother, their father, where they were hurt, who was wounded, conversations about insufficiency in their life. I saw that. And this is how I've entered this life, with that consciousness of connecting our inner dialogues with our outer expression. Now it's a form of helping entrepreneurs, people who are in the healing industry, people who are in the business industry, who are basically able to share their wisdom, their message, and their voice with the world as they dream possible, and to be fully received. So this has been a lifelong journey from not feeling heard to finding ways for us all to be heard and to share and to be happy being seen, to overcome the fear of being attacked. You have some questions for me. Give me a question. I can feel it coming.
Yeah, I could just listen to you all day, Gary. You're like a theatrical...
That's why I paused. I knew that, and that's why I paused, because I had to say, well, you're monopolizing the conversation, Gary. Aldwin is so fascinating to listen to. She's a dear friend. Love her intriguing questions. Pause, down boy.
I know Ken has some questions too, but before we go to Ken, I'm actually going to go to Ken in just a moment. But firstly, I want to acknowledge people that are coming on the live stream. So we've got William Rochelle here on LinkedIn. Hello, William. Good to see you. He says, hey. And here we go, Kenneth Dunner Jr. We love Kenneth Dunner Jr. He says, William Rochelle, you finally showed up, homeboy. Yes, well, obviously they know each other, or maybe not. And Kenneth always comes up with beautiful words. And he says, today's conversation is so delectable, scrumptiously delicious, incredibly tasty good.
Yum, yum.
Yeah, I love that, Kenneth. Thank you so much. Those joining us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube Live, thank you so much for being here. Please pop your comments, thoughts, suggestions, what's coming up for you in the chat. We love to have this as an interactive show. And now I'm going to pass over to Ken, because I could keep chatting as well. So, Ken, I know you've got some things on your mind.
Not too many at this point. I'm just, for one, I'm just amazed that you are 75 years old. You do not look 75. You look more like, you look more like my age, 50.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. In a moment, I'll explain something about that, because there is an art and a science to that. And please say more. How are you perceiving this conversation? How are you taking it in?
Just absorbing it. You have a very unique way of speaking. You have, it's just, you have fluctuations in your tones, in the way you say things. The other thing that I thought was very curious and very noticeable is I don't think once, and maybe I've missed it, but I don't think once you've used the word And so
I don't do the ums. I teach people how to have, when a lot of the people I coach as the presentation doctor online and all over the world are professional speakers or entrepreneurs who ready to be heard and to be paid well for that. And one of them ways is to find other alternative expressions to So is almost always a by the way, or as I was saying. So I've learned, even as I say the word so, to shift even words like so to something that has oomph and and e and o and that has a spatial intelligence. I'm here to teach about spatial intelligence. Yes, there's a lot that can be heard, felt, seen, visceralized, and my key word here, if you remember one word from this session, is multi-sensorize. Now, Ken, you were mentioning something a few minutes ago, and I wanted to piggyback on it. So go back to the first thing you were telling me. You noticed that it was before you said that you find that I'm engaging or a unique way. Yeah, what's behind that? That's what I want to piggyback on. A unique way of, what's unique?
Very unique. In other words, like your choice of words, terminologies you use, and different things like that. And also the fluctuations in your tones. Sometimes you're a little higher in your voice, and other times it's almost like you're saying something underneath that. You say something that is in a lower tone. I've also noticed features like that in other professional speakers, and so it's just interesting that you're
Yep, good. Okay, so there's two ways I want to go with this. One is to reveal what it is that's behind the verbal words, the vocal gestures, and the visual delivery. By aligning these consciously. For me, this is taking all those years of being a champion springboard diver, learning how to navigate spatial intelligence through space and through doing circular, spinning, twisting, most of the time landing, spearing the water without a splash. This has created in this online stage, in the online platform, a way for me to assist you, fellow developing voice be heard, message be heard, wisdom be heard, so you can show it and tell it simultaneously. There's one key exercise I'm sharing with you now that's my most powerful exercise. Consider 3 keywords and matching gestures. You see, you feel, that anchor, give examples of, that meaning. So these 3 key words would match your quintessence, what people see, feel, hear, and experience when they get you in your full presence in your full presence station. Meaning, when I consciously move on the stage, even the online stage, I'm revealing ways to move through time to punctuate key points so the words match the gestures, and then the verbal, vocal, visual anchors in and is indelible. When I, for example, say, and I'm going to ask you to find your 3 keywords, I am, watch my gestures, watch, I am creative. I'll do something like this. And then in a workshop or in return, I would have to go, yes, you are creative. So you get to match and mirror it. I am playful, like a snake moving through space as like a slidey, wormy, playful thing. Sure, I often use that. And then I am transformational. Those 3 gestures, I often encourage when a speaker finds their 3 gestures that match the 3 keywords to utilize those gestures because it's part of their spatial intelligence. So when I go like this, I'm also focusing on the XYZ axes. I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm consciously making movements that engage you in a participatory flow. So I'm taking you on a journey, not just telling you a talking head story. I'm involving from the neck down a full-bodied engagement of verbal, vocal, visual, clues, cues. So there's more nuances of nuances and meances and weances, if you get my drift. Ridiculosity is another one of my principles. There is a velocity to letting go of having to hold on to control. There's a velocity to being ridiculous, to letting go of holding oneself stiff. So this particular exercise, I asked for you to practice, identify 3 key words. Happy to share this with you in a complimentary chat. If you want to reach out to me, I'll show you how to do this on your own in a live session. You choose 3 key words: creative, I'm playful, and I'm transformational. So you can hardly do it without moving my body. And then to do it with the matching gestures, just one at a time. I'm creative, that may be uplifting. I'm playful, it's like moving in a circular, spirally way. I'm transformational, like cutting through wood. So I'm conscious of doing this. And as I do this through the speech, one of the things I want to get across to you today, you see, then it empowers for this ritual, this ritualization. It enriches the conversation and the dialogue. So people who are the listeners and the viewers like you right now, retain the information, and so do you. And it's like you're practicing, you're choreographing the speech through your full body on the online stage. Tell me what's making sense. I'm using that very consciously, what I'm saying. What is making multi-sense to you who are watching and listening, you who are chatting with us, and Aldrin and Ken? Please.
Yes. Cheers. Oh my gosh. I'm loving this, and I'm thinking 3 words for myself. And it's interesting because I have a lot of props around my home studio here. One of them is a love heart, right? I have, and our Animal Action Day and Inspiring Animal Action logo is a love heart of animals. So love heart. If I was to do that with my body, I would do the love heart, right?
Okay,
so love heart.
That's one.
Although I just like having the visual here. I am happy. I have my little happy, my little happy face there. So
that thing's big, and that thing takes up the whole screen.
I know it does. It does. It's actually a mask, believe it or not. It actually is a mask.
And then the third one.
So I am happy, I am loving, and I am inspiring.
Beautiful. Now I got the inspiring because you did that with full, slow moving and continuing with the gesture and the sound. However, the first 2 were somewhat abbreviated, and people watching can see it. It's not a punishment or a judgment. It's just what is. So most people, including me, from time to time, particularly when we're focused on getting things done, we shift outer outcomes to from presence. And when we are fully present, then say those 3 key words one at a time. The first one without the gesture, without the picture, heart. So you might say a word with that, like I'm heartful, or something like that. Let's hear a word at the same time.
I'm loving. I am loving.
I'm loving. So we want to see the picture look like a heart more than. You see, every bit counts. That's good. And then you get your humor too. It looks like you're taking a picture as you do with your camera. So that has another layer of meaning. You see, we're working on multiple layers of meaning. I like it. I'm taking a picture of it, and I'm heartful. I got you. I see you. Great.
I'm also a change maker. Look at this one. I've got a triangle, the triangle of change. I'm a change maker. That's me being creative.
Okay, so that's the second one. That's good. I'm a change maker. Beautiful. And then the third one. Pick a third one.
I'm happy, or I'm joyful, happy, inspired.
It's more uplifting. Okay, so now what we want to do is to multi-sensorize. I'm showing all of you who are listening how we multi-sensorize the 3 key words. So now we take more time, we slow down, and I want you to sing it, each one. So the first one was what? I
am loving. I am loving.
So we want to say it in a way that is less performative, less performing, and you singing it to the base of your own spine. Because we have a tendency when we're reaching people to want to impress them, to want to please them, to want to have them see that I'm paying attention to them. But however, saying these words out loud, you who are listening, as you take your right hand and place it at the base of your spine, sending the sound like a sound and an intention of fiery, heartfelt intention to the base of you, rather than try to reaching out, reaching in, saying these words. It's safe for me.
It's safe for me
to reach you with my message.
to reach you with my message.
And you're sending the sound down and in rather than up and out. What difference do you notice? Say it, exaggerating it like a double extreme, as though you're going to impress first. It's safe for me to reach you, really pointing out. Get it up and out this time, exaggerate it. Go ahead.
It's safe for me to reach you
with my message.
Yeah. With my message. Yeah.
Right. And now going down and in, so you receive the message first, watch what happens, listen what happens, feel what happens, go. It's sending it down.
Safe for me to reach you with my message.
Exactly. What happened with that feeling of certainty, with the eye contact, with the whole jaw going down like a hammer, ready to fully go down, and the sound. We all felt it. We all heard it. It went down and in. So therefore, it felt like you were speaking from your deepest core, from your authorizing and authenticizing what you meant. You felt more credible. You see what we're doing? This exercise is very powerful. So we take it in different dimensions. Now let's do it in gibberish. And we'll say, pick one of the phrases first in English, and then I'll show you in gibberish. Pick one of those three. Which one?
Inspiring.
I'm inspiring. Okay. So clearly what was consistent about you saying I'm inspiring is there was an upward movement. I'm happy. I'm joyful. The movements went up. There was an extension of your natural generosity of spirit. So this time, what you want to do is do it as a pet animal action day. You know, whether it's a dog, a cat, a bird, a creature that makes sound. I had a pet parrot, an African gray parrot, for 30 years. And when I would leave the room, I would say, her name was Silverwing, "See you, Silverwing, see you." And she would go back. She didn't need to use a word, but in the same tonality, thank you, Ken, that I produce, the intention was exactly the same. So if I were to imitate that and show you as a model what I'm saying, if I say I'm inspiring, I might go something like this. May sound like an Asian language. Doesn't matter. You do your version now. That's true to you. Good and true to you. Go ahead. Upward movement, different sound. Good. Now combine it with movement that goes up and look me in the eyes. Good. And now if I were teaching you and doing a presentation coaching online, let's see the movement slowly moving from your neck to the top of your head. So I see the fingers this time as you make the sound. Good. Starting from the depth, ready, go. Did you notice, everybody? That felt so much more congruent. Why? Because in the place of embodied wisdom, we're making a picture. You're showing what you're telling, and I know you're feeling it more. Did you notice that too, Ken?
I did.
Yeah. So by showing what we're telling, this is one of my precepts and principles in coaching. By showing what I'm telling with my fingers, my hands, my arms, my full body, my eye contact, the way I move my head. A lot of this, it was so good at the beginning of the show. I want to give you an honoring there, Aldwin. At the beginning of the show, for those of you listening and watching, being an embodied person myself, yourself, one of the things that Aldwin led us three in, Ken as well, was a simple exercise about moving the body in different directions and stretching it in multiple. This is what I do when I'm consciously increasing spatial intelligence, XYZ directions. By practicing before you go on stage, movement in the horizontal, movement in the upward vertical, movement in the upward and downward, like a tree reaching to the light and roots to the base at the center of the molten earth. Honoring all circular processes, circular and spiral movements that are true and good, that match your essential presencing, and finally deepening, like a didgeridoo, sound and movement that goes down. Three gestures, sounds together. Let's do this together. By practicing the horizontality, the vertical up and down, the honoring all circular processes of which we're a part, and the deepening, the manifestation of all that we've come here to be and become. By doing this on stage and by practicing it with this simple 3 keyword affirmation, I'm going to shift your word, Altuni, we attune ourselves to, I'm going to use your K-Cat, our creative charisma, thank you, Ken, and are able to gymnastically acrobat words in a playful way that literally, hear me, makes more sense. So we have all these ways to encode these key affirmations, and whichever way you match. Some people just want to do the gestures. Some people want to scream it, sound it, whisper it, gibberish it. I'll send you, for those of you that reach out to me, a guide to be able to multi-sensorize, to get into the zone so you can be at home in the bone, and therefore trust the foundation, firm, flexible foundation that supports you speaking in this fully embodied, engaging, multisensory way of authentic impact and presence. It's a practice. It's a moment-to-moment scientific practice that speaks to the 5 directions, 10 directions, how many directions you imagine, doesn't matter. It's all about consistency. What are you hearing from me about spatial intelligence?
Oh gosh, I'm absolutely loving this. I want to see Ken do 3 now. So Ken, have you got 3 words
Okay,
there?
great. Great.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
Since I've been put on the spot. And for those watching us as well, let us know what your 3 words are. I'd love to see you in the comments there.
Yes.
Kenneth's saying, while Kenneth online is sharing, I love this conversation. Be confident and proud of yourself. Thank you, Kenneth.
Before we switch to the next person, I'm going to give you an exercise, Ken. You can practice this at home and just take the words. No, go back to that comment, can we? We want to see that comment. Thank you. And I want us all to say this together, and we're going to do it in a multi-sensorized way that makes pictures of these words. Exactly the words, and except instead of yourself, we're going to say I am. We're going to own the I am presence. So say after me these words, everyone, in your own unique way. I love this conversation. Your turn.
I love
this conversation.
I'm learning.
I'm learning.
Be
confident.
Be confident.
And proud of myself.
I'm proud of myself.
Now I'm going to take it further. I'm confident.
I'm confident.
And proud of ourselves.
And proud of ourselves.
Notice what gets activated in the movements that match, in the spelling that truly is a spell, where the words match the gestures and the sounds. Next comment, please.
Well, this is a great one. Kenneth Dunner Jr. He says, I just turned well-seasoned 68 years old and don't look a day over 40. Savor the flavor of the awesomeness in me.
I love this, Kenneth, and particularly because when you shared that earlier, it triggered my memory about a YouTube video that I just saw yesterday that I wanted to comment on. And thanks to you, Kenneth, you done it again. And my middle name is Kenneth, by the way. That's in the middle.
Oh, is it? Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Middle name
so
Kenneth.
I can relate to you. Yeah. So here's the voice, the YouTube video. It was from a YouTube channel that I subscribe to, as you, I hope, subscribe to my YouTube channel, as you are also to Aldwin's and Ken's. Let's all subscribe and support each other in all kinds of savor in the flavor ways. Thank you very much. So in this YouTube video on Jung, Carl Jung, the mystic, the psychoanalyst, the amazing creative honoring of the archetype. He, in this particular voice, the video is all about why do spiritually awakened people look younger? That was the title. And I know I look younger. And I know that there's an art and there's a science to it. I'm going to show you the secret right now because it's no secret. It's a practice and it's simple because I practice it. And here it is. What do you suppose the answer is? The answer is simple. I'll give it to you the answer right now in the form of a riddle. The answer to the riddle's in the middle. Well, guess what I did, you who are listening, watching, experiencing this in the present and in the future? What do you suppose, you who are listening and about to answer this question, what do you suppose I physically did do before coming onto this interview today? Just go into your wildest imagination, share it in the chat, or you, Ken and Aldrin, tell me, and then I'm going to tell you what I actually did and why that's relevant for this session.
You went to the bathroom and you got some water.
Before I went to the bathroom and before I got some water, I woke up, I did my morning exercises, and I did my morning stretching. Then I did something I haven't done in a month because it's been raining so much here. I took the car down to the waterfall, which is a 5-minute drive, just a kilometer or two down the steep driveway. And I knew it was going to be cold. I did my E, I, O, U to get into the zone. And then I sat in the waterfall and practiced E, I, O, 5 times. It was cold. Then I slid down the sliding pond into the pool below, and I did my spins and twists and sound meditation. And I came up in the most inspired, joyful, embodied state I could possibly muster. So for those of you that wonder about how do you get into the zone beyond just words, there is a physicality to the practice that I encourage you to practice just before getting on stage. On every stage of your life. For me, the simple gestures and sounds that match the words A or ah for opening the heart center. I open to my fullest receptivity. Okay. E for it's safe to share my voice, my wisdom and message with you, vibrating through the neck center where our speech and vocal cords are, going up. See that? While I'm on the waterfall, I envision all sentient beings, the tree rising to the light, all forms of sentient beings rising to the light. I am the light. So all of this is in my consciousness while I make the sound going up. Then up and down at the same time, the I am presence. That's why I was sensitive to you, Aldwin, when you made an affirmation, but you stopped shortly. You stopped short with the sound and the gesture. So for you who are listening, let the sound and gesture go all the way. I am that I am. I am that I am. Or I am that I art. I am that I art. Or I art that I am, or I heart that I am, whatever resonates, what feels good and true to you, to feel that activation up and down and through the spine to the center of the molten earth and to the heights. I am that. I am all that. I feel that vibrating. Then filling that back. Then the O, honoring all circular processes of which we are all a part. The trees, nature, sitting in the waterfall, the waters, the sunlight in my face before coming in this session. Oh, full sound, filling the belly, then filling it up. And then finally, like a didgeridoo, you see how my gestures are matching my words. I practice this all the time. This is what you are here to practice, to choreograph every message so the points show up in a similar place on the stage. Deepening, like a didgeridoo, deep sound. My whole jaw and the sound is coming down. So when I speak from that place of deepest authority. E, I, O, U. Whatever your practice is, this is my favorite practice. I pass it on to you. All right. Where were we?
Oh, so good, Gary. Oh my gosh, I love this. Now I know there'll be people out there thinking, oh gosh, that's a bit over the top, and oh my gosh, it's like, you know, it's almost like a fine. And there'll be people that think this, right? There'll be people that probably think, is this like acting? Or because, you know, some people might think, oh, I'm not very theatrical, I'm not very creative.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. What this is enacting, ENACTING. It is not playing a role. Think about it. With every thought we think, with every word we speak, with every action and interaction we create, we are setting in motion an intention and intonation that carries weight, substance, reverberation. And so it may sound over the top. I'm happy to be over the top. I spent many, 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 many years as a professional court jester in this and many other lifetimes. And now it's a form of wearing a hat of wisdom. I'm at a different stage of life. It's no problem choreographing chaos, entertaining chaos, and being the fool. So the truth is, even though it may seem over the top, I have spent over 5 decades documenting, as a scientist, the wisdom of the multi-sensorizing of communication. And when you who are listening, watching, feeling, experiencing, take any sentence, particularly your 3 key words: I am creative, I am playful, I am transformational, and you practice that, it then it trains the audience to know what you're going to say and puts you in the state before you even say a word. So Ken, it's your turn. Your 3 keywords, please.
All right. Well, my keywords that I wrote down, they're in relation to what I do as a coach and the frameworks that I teach. And so they were the first 3 words that came to my mind. So number 1 is mastery. Number 2 is owning it. And number 3 is becoming, as in the becoming process.
Beautiful. For now, saying the same, but instead of just as a noun, let's do it as an ownership. I am masterful, or whatever matches to you, and doing it with a gesture that looks like what you're saying, so we all can see it. Just one at a time. Do the first one. Just the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Deep breath, everyone. Yeah, that's it. Can't get it wrong.
Yeah, no, there's photos I use in this framework, and so I'm gonna try to give like an example of what that represents here. Yeah,
that's right. One gesture.
In regards to mastery. So, mastery.
Okay, so good. So you see what you're doing. You who are watching, see what you're doing. You're holding it tight. You're keeping your mastery contained. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just a good observer. This is what I do. So let's extend the mastery to the full reach of the stage. This is being the top and the bottom of the stage, or whatever you want to do to show mastery, so you don't stop short. You hear me? So saying the words I am, or I possess, or I share mastery, as the hands make a picture of that. Ready, go. Now.
Okay. So you want movement of the hands. You don't want them
I
static.
do, or holding a pose. An extended pose.
No, I think I'm going to do movement. I'm just,
okay.
Yeah, because I'm kind of going to, okay.
Okay, good. Yeah.
The art of mastery.
Okay, so let's make the word simply saying, I practice mastery. I practice mastery.
Okay, there we go. I like that better than, okay, so.
Yeah. I practice.
I practice mastery.
Good. Now we want to see the hand not just coming down to the bottom, which doesn't really show very much, above your head.
Maybe it would help me if I told you what I'm trying to emulate. So in my hand gestures, what I'm trying to emulate is, so somebody practicing martial arts often, so that's kind of like what mastery is about. It is an art.
Okay.
And
so
no
need to explain. Let me stop you. I recently saw one of Bruce Lee's films. And Bruce Lee, as all of us who know about Bruce Lee know, he was a master in the way that he would be so quick. It wouldn't
there we
be
go.
invisible.
That's cool.
You see, that's what was missing. You weren't demonstrating mastery. You were demonstrating a picture of the martial artist. So now, without hitting the camera, we would like you to say, I practice mastery, that either is, against the screen or, below the screen, but a strong, from further away, a strong movement that looks like mastery, because that now we're in the zone. You see, by inhabiting the visual, we get the message even more meaningfully, tangibly, viscerally. You're good. It's a great growth curve for you.
I practice mastery.
Okay, good. And now that can look like different things. It can also look like get away, It doesn't only look like a martial artist because we don't know the context.
I need a prop. I need a sword or something.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You do not.
Okay.
What I would suggest you do is practice this without trying to get it right. In different ways to multi-sense. So I practice mastery. That's one way. But maybe another way of practicing mastery is something like this. I practice mastery, or
all
to
right,
the right
here,
of the
I
screen.
think I can think of something. Let me try again. So yes. I practice mastery.
Okay, that looked more like it. And what for you are you going to remember? I practice, that looked like someone in the wheels of, in the process mastery. Of, beautiful. Yeah. And that looked much more like it. What are you going to remember? That's going to affect everything you think, say, and do. Instead of doing it the old way, notice how this affects your whole consciousness. I can be in the road of being in my body first, and then I can extend from that place of already being in my body rather than in my head. You see what we're doing? You're connecting your consciousness to the body in the way that takes you out of being a talking head to a visceral communicator, a storyteller. This is beautiful. Let's go for the second one.
The second one, I think I already have an idea of what I'm going to do. So I practice owning it.
So let's now do what I consider, everybody put your 5 fingers in front of you. This is one of my key exercises, and touching one finger at a time, starting with the pinky finger, saying the words simplest, shortest, strongest, specific statement. In other words, with just the first 3 fingers, simplest, shortest, strongest.
Simplest, shortest, strongest.
In other words, say it in fewer words. All you need to say is I own. I'm in ownership. So you don't have to say all the words. I practice ownership. I am in ownership. Something simpler, fewer words, fewer syllables.
Ownership isn't the proper word that I want to say.
So what is the proper word?
Owning it.
I own it. I own it.
Okay.
I own it.
I own it.
Go
Okay.
Yeah.
I own it.
You said it correctly with the gesture, but then you questioned a bit and hesitated at the end, and the sound went up as though it were a question rather than down as though you meant what you were saying. So this time, send the sound down and into the base of the spine.
All right. I think I got it.
The gesture goes slower towards the base of the screen. Go ahead.
I own it.
Notice how that was more believable. There was a pacing, like you noticed in me that time, that showed conscious discipline. That
sounded plain to me, though. There was
wild. Say it wild.
There was no life to it. I own it. That sounded
It'd be better if you start at the top and go all the way down to the bottom, just to the bottom. I own it, just to there. I own it. Yeah.
Okay. I own it.
There you go. See, that time there was no stopping you. You went even below the screen, and we didn't need to see the splash in the water. Like the splash in the water, this is my book, Get Up, Stand Up for Your Life. And the photographer had took a photo of me literally leaping off this cliff for the first time ever, took a video, and then got the splash in it. Get Up, Stand Up for Your Life on Amazon and Audible. So I own it. What are you going to remember about that? What are you going to remember? That was distinctly different. From now on, I say the words. From now on, I. Go ahead. From now on, I say that. Yeah.
I own it. So I'm going to remember the feeling of actually owning what I've just said. And
even as you speak now, it's brilliant. You can notice, everybody, the nodding in the head, the deepening in the sound, and the feeling in the whole body is a full-bodied yes. So we're learning a lot here today. It's practice. It's moment to moment practice. What do you find fascinating?
Just it's a different way of learning that, but it's very effective. It sinks in, you feel it, and I legitimately am walking away with an aha moment. That's kind of cool.
That's right. And if you were to say the aha moment in the fewest words so everyone can appreciate the application point example, now the application to what's in it for me from the audience's point of view, what would you say? My aha moment is
powerful and authoritative.
Yeah, interesting. Over the years, you who are listening have noticed in your own area of specialty that you have your own powerful, authoritative way of expressing your specialty, your gift, your wisdom, your teaching, and your message. And to some degree, all of us, including me, that had the core belief of I'm not good enough, have held back either the full extension of the visual, the vocal, or even the verbal into the most empowering, impactful, fewest words. If you get anything from the session today, it would be this simple 3 keyword practice to multi-sensorize your essentialized gifts. So what you are producing for the outer is also what you're giving yourself first. That's the problem with many of us entrepreneurs. We give away and then want to feel worthwhile by making a difference outwardly when the gift is to be given to ourselves first. Take a deep breath in. By practicing deep breath in, receiving these messages, not just saying them, receiving them, it's safe for me to fully receive. Then breathing, filling that horizontal band around the chest and heart. I'm ready to have it all, full breath in. Then we fully are owning, hear what I'm saying from what I'm not saying. I own these truths. I embody this wisdom. And then I'm in the zone. I can do it through a combination of gestures, sound, verbal. I can do it through just a slight movement or memory of this moment. And then when I'm on the online stage or the physical platform, I'm training the audience to know what I'm going to say before I say a word. They know that my gestures, which I practice, this is my homework for you, ongoingly, are practiced, yet they're always in the moment. Their movement, watch this, from the right side of my screen here to the left side of my screen, you, the Western audience, we're trained in the Western audience, when we read from left to right. So when I move my gestures from my right side of the screen as a speaker online or on a physical to my left side of the screen, I can say, in the past, we spoke from prosceniums down to audiences. In the present, we're learning more a relational way of speaking, connecting with the audience as another aspect of myself. And in the future, as I'm moving to the future over here, this is a way of an intimate way of connecting with my body, my message, and my messaging from past, present to future on every stage, below, above, on all levels and dimensions. This is what we are here to practice. It's spatial intelligence. And what a way to communicate and be heard. What do you find fascinating, Aldrin?
Oh, so powerful. It is so powerful. What I noticed with Ken is, well, my judgment of Ken is that he was overthinking it, right? And I really noticed he was.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, he was totally overthinking it. And he actually had to get out of his head, I believe, and get into the heart or into the gut. Because we have the 3 minds, right? We have the mind, the heart, and the gut. So it's actually aligning, embodying is actually aligning all 3 together, and definitely not overthinking. Even though we have 60,000 thoughts a day, and 98% of our thoughts are the same thoughts we had yesterday for most people, and 80% are negative for most people. But even so, we have all this mental clutter. Often for a lot of people, we sometimes forget how to feel, or we have lost faith and trust in feeling and fully embodying our message because we're worried about what other people might think. We're worried about how we're going to come across. We're worried we're not going to be good enough. We're worried about all these things mentally, whereas really I think the practice here, Gary, is actually to learn to come back to self and actually to say to yourself, well, actually, you are amazing. You are worthy. You are good enough.
Yes. This is all true, and yet there's another layer here. I see myself as the presentation doctor, an archaeologist of the soul, meaning the secret here is not simply releasing the physical layers of tension first only. It's then, once that physical layer is unraveling, then the emotional self-talk that keeps these fixed positions in place can unravel. And only after the physical and the emotional layers are lifted does then the creative emerge, surge, and purge. There's a practice to this. There's an exercise to give you that's not just focusing on the awesomeness. Why am I so awesome? It's also focusing on releasing the darkness. Because if you're holding, as I am, as we all are, a core wound or belief. Mine was I'm not good enough. That was a way of dealing with my mom. I could never get enough A's. You know, it's my own version. We all have our own version. So here's what we do. Here's what you do. This is, what, again, one of my most powerful exercises. You can practice at home. You could practice it with me in a one-on-one session. Here's how it works. Focus on a core wound. I'll say my core wound, I'm not good enough. Not who I am, but a story I've told myself. Where'd it come from? Mom, never good enough for you, Mom. I never get enough A's, and even though I was a great performer, presenter. So then I address her. First, I shake out my hands. You do this if you're not driving a car, doing machinery. You can do this. You can do this later on the replay. I recommend you go to the replay. Shaking out all of my attachment to this story. I release my attachment to the story of I'm not good enough. You do your own version, your own way. Okay, good. Now I have my right hand, and I'm focusing my right hand, which is my assertive male side of my body, hand towards towards my screen, and I say these words: Mom, or whoever it is in your life that oppressed you, I now address you. And you can say it out loud in your way. Whoever it is, this is my mom, my situation, my wife, my home, I now address you. Okay. And then I say the truth. From all the ways that you told me that my A pluses were not good enough when I was growing up, I developed a complex of I never could please you. I have to please you. I can't please you. I'm never good enough. I'm not good enough. Then you go like this, everybody. You take your hand like an open chalice, your right hand like an open cup, right? Yeah, like that. Mm-hmm. You dip your left hand into the right hand and you say these words. I take this pain, say these words after me. I take this pain.
Take this pain.
This false persona.
This false persona.
Of being attached to I'm not good enough.
Being attached to I'm not good enough.
And all related patterns. You have your own version.
And all related patterns.
Yeah.
And I wad it up into an ugly ball.
And I wind it up into an ugly ball.
That's right. I want to make it physical, tangible, measurable. And I send it.
And I send it.
Back to the source.
Back to the source.
With your full body. Back to where it came.
Back to where it came.
Place your heels to the floor and your heels of your hands visibly up towards the top of the screen, always utilizing the online screen, being conscious, fourth wall of what the audience is seeing at the same time, and say these words out loud. I have just sent.
I have just sent
my attachment.
My attachment.
To my negative belief, whatever that is.
To my negative belief.
Somewhere else to play.
Somewhere else to play.
Today for me is a new day.
Today for me is a new day.
Then you take your hands and you hit them against your hips 3 times, going like this, 2 times going hip, hip,
hip, hip. Hip.
What comes next? Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hooray! My new self-talk is, and then say your 3 keywords. My new self-talk is. You say your words, Aldwin, with gestures.
I am loving. I am happy, and I am inspiring.
And now, Ken, your turn.
Wait, what was the phrase again?
I am masterful.
No, not my words. What's the
you're in your head. Just follow my instructions. Follow my instructions. My 3 keywords. I am.
Okay. I don't remember how I did it.
But I am master.
You don't have to remember. It's always, this is the key, everybody. If you feel like you're lost in a speech, in a presentation, all you have to do is be present with what is now. If what I do remember is I said the word mastery, I said the word uplifting, and then play with it now. It doesn't have to be what you did before. It's always, say these words after me, everybody. It's always the first time. You say it now.
It's always
the first time.
Okay, now you can do it like you've never done it before. Go ahead. Make it up fresh.
That's actually a pretty cool thought. It's always the first time.
You go for it.
Okay.
That's right. You don't have to look down. Look in, not down.
Out of the head, right? How interesting.
We're on to you. I see you. Go ahead. Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah, no, I know you see me. Okay. I own mastery.
Good. And second one.
Nice.
I own it.
Fine. And then the third one.
We never did the third one, but okay. The becoming.
Nice.
Beautiful. And feel how you got soft and your eyes got strong and piercing. And there's a feeling of a present, pleasant, passionate, precious pause.
Yes.
So good.
Beautiful. This is beautiful. Now, another exercise for you to practice, you who are listening, is to get a picture of a younger self. This is me when I must have been saying those words to my mom, no self, my first words in this lifetime. And so an exercise for you to practice before going on stage, and I can take you through this, come online for a complimentary Zoom with me and I'll guide you through this practice, is get a picture of yourself and say something to yourself that your younger self would need to hear. And I would say this to my younger self. I would say, hey, younger self, I'm so glad that you individuated. And Alvin showing her beautiful picture of herself and whatever age and stage you made. And Ken, whatever picture you have as well. Just envision a picture of yourself. And I would say to my younger self, I am so happy that I, at age 75, looking at you in just the first few years of life, that you stood your ground. You kept living without erasing and compromising and playing other people's movies. You stuck to your guns. And hey, this is the way the war's won. Done it. You done it. I'm with you all the way. So, you may have your own version. That's my version without rehearse. What's yours, Edwin? Yours, please.
Oh, I love it without rehearsing.
Yeah.
I love you. You are so precious to me. I am so grateful for everything you've been through to bring you to this point. Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you. I love you.
Excellent,
I love you.
Excellent. I love it. And Ken, you to whoever, what picture you're seeing of yourself, to my younger version of me, a message I have for you is...
To my younger version of me, you have no idea the calling that God has placed on your life. And God has called you into big things.
This is beautiful. Now, everyone, put your hands together like this. And imagine one of your hands being your authentic higher self that is represented by you speaking in your adult body now. And the other hand being your younger self. This is an exercise that I do in my presentation coaching sessions online and often in groups as well, where you physicalize and separate two sides that are in opposition. So whether it's past and future, oppressor and younger child, could be anything. So here we go. So move one of your hands to be your higher self, your adult self now. Move that fingers of that hand so you know which one it is. Good. And the other to the younger self. So now I'm going to show you an exercise so you're able to be more integrated when you speak on every stage of your life. So we'll just do it fresh. I'm your older, wiser self. And I want to say to you that you never have to fit in, because you don't. You set the stage to free the mage and sage out of the cage. That's who you art. And I am with you all the way. And you can now relax and live your own wild, creative part. Now the younger wounded self says, oh my goodness, it's so good to feel seen, felt, heard, and understood. It's safe for me to myself on all stages of my life. Very good. Let's put it together. Together, everybody achieves more. So you do your own version of that, of taking any conflict represented by, on the one hand, I, on the other hand, I, any decision you're making, I'm too loud on stage, you want to be more, and notice the integration and dialogue first to your inner being, and that how that affects every thought, word, action, interaction, written piece, song, and dream, manifesting what you, as Ken said so brilliantly, hear in a larger sense of who you thought you were here to truly be and become on this earth for the evolving of our humankind. Such kindness. Beautiful.
Oh, so good, Gary. Oh my gosh. And I'm sure everyone who's tuning in right now is absolutely loving this as well. I just want to go through some of the other comments here. I love this,
Sure.
Kenneth Dunner Jr. I'm always proud of myself. I love myself.
Let's do that with gesture, everybody. Let's do that with together. And we'll just simplify the words. We'll 3S it. Simplest, shortest, strongest, following my words with gestures that match it in a way that feels authentic from everything you've been learning in the session. Okay? So your own way of saying these words after me. I'm always proud of myself.
I'm always proud of myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
Good. So notice how your gestures are demonstrating your words in a compelling, telling, welling, swelling more than ever before. Next comment.
I love it. Well, Kenneth's saying, I don't have a middle name. My mother didn't like my father's middle name. So he's kind of making a joke there. We'll keep going. Gabe, yes, this is live. Is this live? Gabe Leal on LinkedIn says, is this live? Yes, it is. Chris is saying hello to Kenny. Chris P on LinkedIn. Thanks for joining us. Okay, let's see what other comments we've got here. Okay. Kenneth's about to go to Kenya on you, my friend. Kenya. Or was that Kenya? You're about to go to Kenya. You could probably say that.
Playing with words, which is just fine. I love to play with words. And, sometimes when we get into the silliness of words and I get to be out of control, there's a Monty Python-esque way of taking even that key expression and exaggerating it. One of my exercises is called the double extreme. So if we wildly take our 3 key words as though we don't mean it and then do the opposite extreme as we do mean it, watch the difference. I'll demonstrate first. I'm creative, I'm playful, I'm transformational. Actually, it looked like what it said. And now I'll do it without putting artifice or exaggeration, speaking it deeper to myself. I am creative, I am playful, and I'm transformational. Notice when I said it to myself, there was a feeling of me believing in it even more. So there's a sense of credibility, different ways of expressing what I call the best of both. Exaggeration in whatever degrees that you're used to, fast, slow, soft, strong, and then the best of both. There's another one of these tools called the double extreme. Happy to share more with you on that. Aldrin, what's yours? Taking your 3 key words and exaggerating them and then making them more inwards. First, extroverted out and then in.
Okay. I am loving. I am kind. And I am joyful.
Isn't that interesting? From observing you just now, the first one, because you have a big presence and you have a lovely stage presence. And I, like you, we're both very theatrical. And when you said the first one, I'm loving, I felt all that drama, all the dramatics, that big heart that you have, almost like your cheeks were blushing red. And it was bigger, it was showy. And yet the other 2 were softer, and it allowed, once the showiness was out of the way, a softening, a deepening, a kindness, a caring, a compassion, and a connection to come through. And that was beautiful to see both the outer flow and the inner receiving your message. Beautiful, Aldrin. Ken, how about you? First exaggerating like you don't mean it, and then the deepening as though you do.
All right. I embrace mastery and owning it and the becoming process.
Okay, so now we do it without the exaggeration, but saying it more to yourself. Like you're receiving this message without having to look at your notes because you're the one that made the words up in the first place. I am source. You are source.
It's all about mastery. It's all about owning it and the becoming process.
Beautiful. And now say the words, I'm all about mastery.
I am all about mastery.
I'm all about owning it.
I am all about owning it.
Beautiful. Notice how that beautiful softness and gentleness, and even in the eyes, there was a feeling I felt at that time. You notice that too, Aldwin and Ken? There was a feeling without performing. So we're learning so much in this session. It's great. Now, are we at the stage that you would ask me my favorite quote, or we're not quite there yet? I feel like we're
almost. We are almost there. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. It's about time for us to start wrapping up. So yeah,
we'll start.
I could feel it. So let's review what you both heard, and then I'll take it from there, because there may be a few piggyback things I want to piggyback on from what you heard, what you've appreciated so much about this for the listeners, how you feel the listeners would also and are benefiting from this style of engaging physical presence as well as sharing information simultaneously. Aldwin, Ken?
Well, there's so much I'm getting out of this. And for those who are tuning in live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, please let us know, what are you getting from this as well? We want to see that in the comments, and we'll come to your comments in just a moment. The big thing that came to me as you were sharing there, a girlfriend of mine, Tracy Corman, she said to me, all the love you have for others is there for you too. All the love you have for others is there for you too. I've got my little love heart here. And what I'm hearing here is that you've said several times, say it to yourself. Say it to yourself first, right? Actually give yourself that love first, and then put it out there. And what I also get very, very distinctly, there's that point. And the other point, very distinctly, I'm getting how we come across when we overthink things versus when we fully embody our body.
All right. Okay. When we overthink, we're in our head. When we're in our head, we're rehearsing what to say, and we're reading out of a script rather than being in our bodies. When I chose to move off grid, now going on 5 years ago, here at the top of a mountain, 550 meters above sea level, 3 hours from the nearest town in the permaculture community, where I'm surrounded by waterfalls, creeks, streams, waterholes, wallabies, amazing wildlife, creatures of all kinds in this wild landscape. I have learned a renewed relationship. Hear what I'm about to say. Instead of being hungry, as I was in the past, grew up in New York, firstborn Jewish male energy, I was insistent for the many, many years, as you who are entrepreneurs know what I'm talking about. I couldn't be involved in more seminars or teaching or networking opportunities or 5 rhythm dance classes or Cirque du Soleil performances and going out to eat and ride my bicycle here. And I couldn't be more involved for marriage in being engaged, or shall I say entangled, in other people's mysteries and challenges, dramas and traumas. I'm good at this because I'm a therapist. I'm a therapeutic coach. However, pause. Breathe in. Having time to pause. Take time for myself. Take time to make time. Be time. To breathe in has shifted, please hear me, the balance between being an extreme, I got to please you. I got to reach you. I want to reach the top leaders. I want to reach the best people, be on the top game shows. I want to work with the leading, as I have, professional presenters in the world. However, when I direct the message to myself first, rather than attempt to please outwardly, I have a renewed, as I have here for the last 4 or 5 years, entered a renewed relationship. Notice what I'm about to do with these words. I have a renewed relationship with aloneness. In the word, hear my words, aloneness is the word all oneness. I never knew that. It was already there in my last name, my surname, Woolman. There's already wholeness. My transformational body therapy method that's been government endorsed by the Department of Education and Training here in Australia. I named it the Woolman method for the whole person. So there's a wholeness, there's an integration, there's a knowing that we all have that has been denied by all of us looking outside to perform, to present. I was brought up this way. This is what I thought my identity was about. And it wasn't until, deep breath in, everyone, I began to practice daily, as I did before I got in this show, sitting in the waterfall, sending the sounds. Ah, deep breath in. Then deep breath in. Ah, then deep breath in. Oh, then deep breath in. Until I began to practice for myself what I was giving out to others, my life was coming from a needy, hungry, needing approval, wanting to impress place. The more I give myself the attention, this is what I do in all my therapeutic coaching, healing sessions, body therapy, to myself first, then the audience finds me. Here's an example you can practice on stage. Say these words after me. The more I move forwards to my audience, say that.
The more I move forwards to my audience,
the more my audience move closer to me.
The more my audience moves closer to me.
With louder listening.
With louder listening.
You see what we're doing? So instead of sending the sound up and out to impress, I send the sound, the intonation, the intention to the base of my own spine, towards the center of the molten earth, as a form of heartfelt intention. And in this way of literally visualizing a lance of heartfelt intention, I am landing in the landscape of my body, my chief instrument of communication, the very intention that I want to impress the audience with. As I give it to myself first, this wisdom, this multi-sensorizing of communication, the audience perceives my message not only with deeper listening, by osmosis, because I receive it first. I am more credible. I believe in myself. I practice. It's a practice, Ken. You were saying that a few times. It's a practice. It's not about getting it right. It's about perfect practice to take the perfect imperfection to the next level. When I do my coaching online or physically, it's always about having your presence station, your presentation, your presencing reach next level. So you're fully embodied in engaging with your physical gestures, your verbal words, your vocal sounds, and your visual delivery, all, just like you said earlier, one about alignment, aligning with what you stand on, a firm, flexible foundation that supports you. So from this place, we are truly all the authority of our greatest wisdom. Say these words after me as you stretch your neck. My shoulder drops away.
My shoulder drops away.
More room for me.
More room for me.
More choice of positions.
More choice of positions.
To trust.
To trust.
What I feel.
What I feel.
What I think.
What I think.
What I do.
What I do.
What I write.
What I write.
What I sing.
Sing.
What I laugh.
What I love.
And what I say. And then again, hip, hip.
Hip, hip. Hooray!
Hooray! Full-bodied extension of the sound and the gesture. Very, very good. And this is where it all begins. Every ending is a new beginning. I think she's got it. I think he's got it. I think we've got it. I want to end with this as well. We're not fully ending, but I always like to end my sessions, my seminars, my coaching with the following 3 statements. Saying it from everything you've been learning in this session with your full-bodied expression. I'll say the words first with matching gestures. Sharing my caring. It's my strength.
Oh, sharing my caring is my strength.
My vulnerability is my strength.
My vulnerability is my strength.
Sharing our common humanity.
Sharing our common humanity
is our developing strength.
Is our developing strength. Yes, yes,
And
yes.
this is where it all begins.
This
is where it all begins.
Oh, my cells are singing.
Resounding a resonance in your residence. That's the whole point of this show. When your verbal words, your vocal sounds, and your visual delivery all sinks up, sinks in, and you settle into the deepest layers of your skin, you too are an archaeologist of the soul, freeing the physical tension, the emotional holding patterns and self-talk, carrying rigidity in place, and underneath that, the creativity can emerge, surge, purge, as a pageant, as a parade, through this landscape of our body, our chief instruments of communication. Now, I can hear a question coming from you, Aldwin, which is, what favorite quote would you like to leave us with, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, please, Gary. What is your favorite?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I could feel the question coming. I saw the words on the neon movie screen in my mind, and the answer is my favorite quote. My favorite quote is taken from this picture of a painting. You recognize this picture, this painting?
Oh, yes. Michelangelo.
And the words below. This is from Michelangelo, who said, I saw the angel in the marble, and I chiseled until I set it free.
Oh.
We all are masterful communicators, presenters, performers, as we learn to present sing in our present station, to trust what we stand on. We already are that angel on the marble. We already are art, that we seek. In the opening of this band, take a deep breath in as we receive the full opening. We embrace that feeling of I am love, lover, and beloved. I'm ready to have it all. I am that. May the message of love go far and wide. And that in that embodiment, here is where that angel in the marble is able to be accessed by you in a minute, in a moment to moment murmur of movement that matters. Spirit matters. As you recall what we've been sharing here today, the sculpture is already in the marble. All we have to do, that's why I showed you that exercise of I send the past somewhere else to play. I send my past pattern somewhere else to play. That's the first step. And then we multi-sensorize a new key phrase. Then there's a place for that to land indelibly within our cellular memory. Yes, the angel is already in the marble as we chisel away everything unlike itself, as in the Course of Miracles. There's either love or the calling for love. There's either love or fear, everything unlike love. That's how we art, all of us. As we learn to let go of the dark and the shadows, out comes the brightness of our pilot flame. This is where it all begins.
Gary, you are absolutely extraordinary. I'm looking through the chat and there's so many comments going off here. Chris P on LinkedIn says, this guy is incredible. And he says, I might actually hire him.
Love to work with you.
Thank you for that, Chris P. And of course, you are available, right? If people want to hire you.
If people want to hire me, there will be both in your putting up on the screen. You've already put up. I have a link tree, linktr.ee, and then / my name, Dr. Dr. Gary Woolman. There it is. And when you go to my link tree, link of links, you will also see my presentation doctor.com website. That's a great place to land for all kinds of free videos. There's also a chance to come to my YouTube page. You can click on that and subscribe, and then you will see hundreds of videos with exactly what we're doing here. Many podcasts, many teaching, many live sessions to share how your voice, message, and wisdom can be brought to the world as you dream possible. So please subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell. That's the YouTube. There's many links there. Performance art, different performances. I love performing. No, it's not acting. It's enacting our deepest essence and being a model for that. So go to the Linktree link and you'll see the link to my presentationdoctor.com website, my YouTube channel, and also you're welcome to have a complimentary half-hour session with me by going to tidycal.com, TIDYCAL, tidy like calendar, tidycal.com. And again, like in the link tree, the / Dr. Dr. Gary, Gary Woolman. That's a great way. tidycal.com / Dr. Gary Woolman. And we can have a half an hour of diving deeply into the dimensions of you in a delicious waking up your remembrance. Fresh stories, new glories, we dance and sing. Yes, we are remembering. Yes, we are awakening. Yes, 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 yes.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, so good. So much juiciness and absolute wisdom shared here. And I love your YouTube channel. So definitely get along to Dr. Gary Woolman's YouTube channel. Very easy to remember this link tree, linktr.ee / Dr. Dr. Gary, Gary Woolman, WOHLMAN for those who are on Spotify. Thank you so much, Gary. Let's go over to Ken. Ken, what's a favorite quote or motto you've got for us today?
Oh. Quote, I'm going to kind of go along with what I've already shared here today, and I'm going to go along with the journey to reaching your weight goal, to your health goals, is not about going on another diet. It's about mastering that journey. It's about owning that journey. And it's about becoming the person that is in the end goal, so that when you reach that goal, you now stay there, because that's just who you are. And so
nice.
that's my quote. It's a quote from me.
Love it.
Yeah, so, and how people can connect with me, reach with me, work with me. So right now, I'm actually giving away my 3 secrets to not only help you lose weight, but to feel energized and get healthy without starving or dieting. In just 3 one-on-one sessions with me, I expose the 3 biggest lies that are keeping people sick, stuck, and overweight, because that's how that industry makes money. And I show people how they can fuel their body and finally break free from that system and keep the weight off for life, like I've been able to do, all without a diet and having that be sustainable. And so how you connect with me is through www.masteryweightloss.com / connect. There are 4 buttons on that page. One is to join that mini educational boot camp that I just talked about. The other one is to connect with me on a free strategy call. Maybe you don't know what your next steps are. Well, let's get on a call. Let's unpack that together. And then the other 2 links is to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to connect with me on Facebook. So that is www.masteryweightloss.com / connect.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ken. And I'll just go through very quickly just some of these comments. I'm not going to go through all of them because we'll be here for another half an hour.
Right.
So I will just go back a little bit here, because there were some great comments here, particularly on LinkedIn. A whole lot of conversations going on LinkedIn. So if you want to see where these comments are, go to my LinkedIn profile, which is Alden Alternate on LinkedIn, and you'll see a whole lot over there. So people have had a good laugh through this show. It has definitely been some very funny moments through this show. Oh my gosh, Chris says, did he just drop the word masturbate? No, I don't think I heard that one. There is mass debate. Some people will masturbate.
I used the word multi-sensorize, but I didn't actually use that word at all. There's, different ways to raise our energy, which I'm all about, yet it wasn't necessarily limited to any particular place or part of the body. It's a full-bodied expression, the way I'm speaking to you.
Yes, love it. And Kenneth is joking around with Chris here on LinkedIn saying, I've seen your Italian hand gestures, my friend. I think they're the bits when we were sort of going like this, maybe they were getting a bit carried away with them.
Well, Russian, Jewish, demonstrative, Eastern European gestures. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
also a way of inhabiting the stage to choreograph the key points so people are feeling compelled by an indelible message that engages the audience as well, that place points in specific places on the stage. So I'm not just flying around. No, they're very specifically chosen, as I suggest to you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Kenneth Dunner Jr. says, you're both hilarious tonight. Thank you so much. Kenneth, I presume you're talking about us, although you could be talking to other people in LinkedIn here.
Well, I have to say something to Kenneth. Kenneth, you've done it again.
Yes, you do. Oh, hilarious. Chris goes, it's like he did a pile of cocaine tonight. That is hilarious, Chris. We don't need drugs. We don't need drugs to be fully self-expressed, or alcohol for that matter. And that's an interesting point, isn't it? You know, how often are people inhibited because they think what's happened here tonight, they think it's all over the top and whatever, right? And there will be people that think that. So what are your thoughts when Gary, when people say to you, oh, you're so over the top, or you're so, you know, whatever they say, what do you say
I
to
will
them?
often say I have been a professional court jester in this life and probably other lifetimes as well, and I have no problem making a fool of myself. And yet, over the years, being the storytelling jester, going to artist school programs and Hawaii, different places, and basically in character and face makeup, wildly over the top, I was also able to inhabit like the Koshari clown in the Native American tradition, an honored place in representing the contrary. Because in my own life, in breaking free from my New York Jewish male Russian heritage, I had to break free from my first no self and find a way to authenticize and authorize and find what was true for me, what was good and true for me in this lifetime. And so the answer to all of this is finding your own way of finding the velocity of ridiculosity, whatever for you helps you let go of control, that then you can honor that freedom of expression. When I let go of holding back, the wisdom wafts through in waves of wonder. And a lot of what I say is practice. I say this hundreds of times. So I pick and choose and choreograph these words that I can see like I'm watching a constellation of conversations, as I often do, in the spaciousness of the open field. I actually see the words written often and a sensation in my fingers before I actually say the words. So this is a practice you too can develop. I'll help show you how.
Yeah, I love that. A good comment here by Chris. People enjoy confidence, but also being heard. Now, that's very interesting because what I'm getting from embodiment is you're actually tuning in and listening to yourself, but also being a great communicator involves listening to others and also hearing what is not being said as well, right? What are your thoughts on that, Gary?
I have a very strong communication about that. I was at a dance camp in Maui, Hawaii, at a gathering of movement specialists from all over the world. I was one of them, and I was leading my signature session in transforming your message with body and voice. And on the break before my actual session, I spoke with a man who forgot his lines. We all forget our lines, as I have a couple of times in this conversation. And as his turn came up, in front of the group of international presenters and movement lovers and teachers from all around the world, I introduced him to the group. And I said to the group, what is it actually under the surface of what is it when you hesitate or stutter or forget your words or forget your lines, when you're looking at what did I say before? It's always the first time. And he began to get tearful. Pause, deep breath in, everyone. Receiving as well as giving. And he said to me as the tears began to flow, why am I forgetting the words? And he turned to me because he is a 5 rhythms movement meditation dance teacher in New York City. I also grew up in New York. He said to me in front of all these witnesses, 30 people, when I grew up in New York and I was attacked and bullied all the time. When I stand up front of an audience and I share even a direction about a desk, I feel like people are going to attack me. No, I'm acting, but I'm not acting because this is a moment he enacted and I can reproduce that moment. It's actually on my YouTube channel, that moment. And this beautiful, brilliant bubbling of luminosity, transparency, translucency among the people in the room. I asked the people, as I often do on online sessions with people, to give feedback. And each one came up, as I do with this exercise, remember before, and they spoke to us. I saw you speaking to us and sharing in tears how you were attacked and how you were afraid of being attacked as a teacher, why that is in the way as you remembering what to say. Well, that touched me so much. You're the kind of teacher that I'd love to work with because you represent a quality of vulnerability as strength, humility, humanity, sharing, you caring, that I want to work with. And so one person after another gave feedback. He turned around, and this gets to what you were just sharing, Aldwin, and then he said to the audience, I love being heard. I love being seen. And that became his new multi-sensorizing that I had him sing, shout, whisper, in all the ways that we practice here today, gibberish, to fully own that in his cellular memory. So it's important not just to be heard, but to release everything unlike, I saw the angel on the marble and chiseled till I set it free. What stands in the way of, it's safe for me to be seen, heard, felt, understood, and acted upon in following my wisdom and me stepping into the leadership that I am art to be. But this is a practice for all of us.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Gary. Kenneth Dunner Jr. says, most definitely a different type of show on LinkedIn, peeps. Absolutely. I don't know anyone who is quite like Dr. Gary Waldman here. He is fully self-expressed and he is an absolutely extraordinary human being. And whether you like him or hate him, I love the fact that he's fully self-expressed. And often what we resist or what we don't like about other people, often we're lacking within ourselves, which is very interesting. You know, just notice for yourself if you've been triggered by this show, tuning in today, and I know there's a whole lot of comments going on, some positive, some not so positive, and I'm choosing to share more of the positive ones right now, okay? And wherever you're at is absolutely perfect for you, okay? And if you've learned just something here today, or maybe you could bring in a little bit more heart into what you do, because, you know, what I'm hearing here is there's a lot of people who do not trust themselves, because when be fully self-embodied, to fully trust what comes out of your body, it takes something.
And well, it takes practicing and recognizing the yes. At the very beginning of the show, I shared a significant breakdown to breakthrough experience. I didn't get into medical school. I got a insight from a psychiatrist who was just a father of a friend of mine, who gave me feedback. Who I see in you, young 20-year-old, is someone that you have that gift within. You don't have to fit into an outer form of trying to be like others. And then out came the sounds, the singing, the shouting, the whispering of, yes! That was the first time I could recognize the sensate, the physical sensations and locations that took what might have been over the top or as a sensation I didn't think it mattered. No, the body had the absolute wisdom, the knowing in that instant. I have to say something. I was watching some parrot YouTube videos the other day, and it really impressed me that when a woman would say something like, now make a sound to a parrot that was able to make a sound like a cat. The moment, really struck me, the moment that the woman did that with one hand, said to the parrot, now make a sound like a cat, the very moment that the woman said cat, the parrot went, meow. There was not a single instant of hesitation. So there's no hesitation because the body knows instantly the wisdom and the truth. If you have a question about whether to do A on this hand, B on that hand, and there's an energizing movement that's freer, eyes that are clearer, movements that are softer and more flowing, say these words after me, everyone. The more I trust,
the more I trust
what I deeply know,
what I deeply know,
the more my thoughts,
the more my thoughts,
my words, and my actions freely flow.
Fully, really flow.
Head to toe.
Head to toe.
Hip, hip, hurrah!
Hurrah!
Row, row, row. Your life is what we stream.
Life is what we stream.
Life is what we theme. It's the themes that we choose that becomes the faces that we use, and what we put in front as a sound, as an intention, as an intonation. We become that. That's the whole answer to what we're putting in motion here today. It's so simple. It's moment to moment practice. It's over the top, it's under the bottom, and it's all the way through owning that full embodiment of what you meant to share with everything you think, say, sinking in for you to do.
So good, so good. Kenneth Dunner Jr. says, Yvette Leal, he's talking to on LinkedIn, I'm open-minded to experience all that life has to offer me. I love that, Kenneth. I love that. Open-minded. How many
Let's say it together, everyone. Let's say it, I, and then we'll go to we. First, I'm open-minded.
I'm open-minded.
To experience all that life has to offer me.
Experience all that life has to offer me.
Notice how you are able to inhabit the edges of the screen so you don't stop short. This is a practice. Now we shift that to the we, and we use a full-bodied, we-bodied, full-bodied expression as we say we. We're open. Go ahead. We're open.
Open-minded.
We're open-minded to experience all that life has to offer us.
Life has to offer us.
You see what happens? So as we practice with all the pronouns, I, you, she, he, we, and they, it allows us, again, to practice this multi-sensorizing, and then it makes more sense. Do you hear me? It multi-sensorizes. It makes more sense. We reach our audiences on more levels and dimensions of being.
Yes, beautiful. We do have to move on. It's been an epic show. Just quickly with some of the last comments, I'm just going to fly through these. Yvette Leal says, great comedy for sure. I'm really glad you've had a good laugh, Yvette. That is awesome. I've certainly had a good laugh through this show. It's been absolutely brilliant. You are a brave soul, Gabe Leal says on LinkedIn. Kenneth says, savor the flavor of the awesomeness in that, Yvette Leal. Kenneth Dunner Jr. And Chris P says, Yvette, this is the most hilarious thing I've seen in a long time. You know, I absolutely love that. I've got my smiley face there. I love that, because the more joy and the more fun you have, the more money you make, my friends on LinkedIn. And I know those on LinkedIn, they're business-minded. They want lots of money generally. The more fun you have, the more money you make. Where are you being way too serious in life? At the end of the day, none of it matters anyway. We're all going to die at some point. Where are you being too serious in life?
At the end of the show, as you realize you are listening, watching, hearing, and experiencing this, notice, if you remember one thing, notice how when you speak from this moment on, you're able to use a matching of the verbal words, your vocal sounds, and your visual delivery with every thought, every word, every action, interaction, everything you write and sing on every stage of your life. And this will then bring you to that place where you're in the zone, to the bone, wherever you roam.
Yes. And Gabe Leal, or it could be Gabby if I'm not pronouncing it right there. Gabe, I'll say Gabe Leal. I'm wondering, where the hell do you find a jacket like that?
I'll let you know. For those of you that reach me and we have that complimentary half-hour Zoom in my Zoom room, I'll share with you all that and more. There's so much of this to share, and you can have it too. This is about ownership.
Chris
75. Absolutely. It keeps me young. Oh, you were going to say that earlier. You know, it's that practice in that YouTube video, what the reason that in this YouTube video, thanks for reminding me, that people who are spiritually awakened and awakening, as we all are appearing younger, is that we don't have less. We actually go through more of the wounding that others are, but we're processing it. We're bringing it through rather than holding on to it. So by ritualizing it, by expressing it, by letting it move through the body as the chief instrument of communication, there's a youthing that happens. And that's how I've stayed young all these years. I make my most important practice, yi, I, o, ru, and all related practices that bring me into the zone, into the bone, where I'm at home in my body. And that's the secret to staying young, is vitalizing at each and every moment to moment. This is where it all begins.
Yes, beautiful. So the full comment there, dude is partying at 75. I'm happy for him. And I wanted to say earlier, like 70 is the new 40 now. And when you have the kind of energy and passion that Gary does, you know, souls are ageless. You know, I'm blown away that you're 75 as well, Gary, because you definitely do not act 75. You do not look 75. You know, I think you've worked out this reverse aging process. I think the more fun you have, the younger you feel and look as well. And Kenneth Dunner Jr. says Chris Pinadella, and Chris said earlier he's Italian and he loves it. Chris, I'm so glad that you're enjoying yourself tonight. Yes, we are. We are definitely. Yvette Leal, same here.
We're having a party together. That's what this is.
Yes. Okay, and there's just so many comments here. I can't go through all of them right now. We are actually over time. This guy is certainly the double extreme, Chris P says. The double extreme.
It's a practice, Chris. The double extreme practice, just to be able to have you practice that at home, is anything that you feel in opposition on the one hand, on the other hand, you exaggerate them, you know, fast, slow, soft, hard, then bigger, and then biggest. So 3 times extremes, and then the best of both. That's the scientific. And then what naturally happens is that which is essential emerges from within. So stretching further, stretching furthest, and then the best of both with anything you're holding in polarity, in extreme, and then out comes the best of you.
Yes, love that. Kenneth Dunner Jr. saying, Gabe Leal, do an after show tonight. I think they're all hyped up here. They can't wait to
this is where it all begins. I'm happy to connect with you further, everybody. Cheers.
Yes, so good. Yvette Leal says, Chris P, thanks for the humor. I just connected with you.
Great,
Sure. Gabe Hill says he's at a loss for words like the rest of us. I know some of this could be like, wow, this is intense, man. This guy is full on. And yes, and that's what I love about you, Gary. I absolutely love that. Okay. Anyway,
what do you love about me? I've lost for words. What do you say?
I love how out there you are. I love how fully self-expressed you are.
It's the way I could be sane. It's the only way I could survive with my mom and dad. You have to fit into a form. No way. I'm going to find my own sovereign way in this life and be a model for individuation for all souls. So you can find that which is your deepest wisdom, message and voice, and share it as you've dreamed. That is where I'm most wounded, and that is where I'm most focused on clearing and healing this for all of us together.
Yes,
it's a parts party.
Gabriel, this is too good not to share, to not share. Okay, so yes, please share the love if you've enjoyed this today. Let us know what you thought of the show. Chris Peath said it was like watching Gremlins too.
Tell me, I never saw Gremlins. What is Gremlins about? Give me a sense in the fewest words.
And what's Gremlins too? What's Gremlins? It's a show. It's a cartoon.
Why is it like watching Gremlins?
How do you even describe that? No, it's a movie. It's a classic movie from back when. But I don't even know how to describe it.
Well, there must be something playful about it. Playful and mischievous. Playful, wise, witty, and mythic.
Could be. There are playful parts to that movie. There's also intense, let's just say, intense parts about that movie, because some of those gremlins were evil. Some of them were on the good side. So you had this good and evil side and different things like that. Yes. It's just, it's a classic. It's just a classic. You got to go see it. It's just a classic.
Yeah. As you who are listening and watching practice your 3 keywords with matching gestures, you will find that your intentionality becomes pronounced. So what you say becomes more intense. What you bring out from the inside is so verbally, vocally, visually aligned that an intensity parades and pageants and produces a precious presence all the way through. And it's a focused intention that people are getting. That intensity is sometimes hard to absorb. When you practice it, then you become it. So in that sense, I appreciate that comment, whether I'm seeing gremlins or not. I appreciate spiritual intensity, focused intention.
A gremlin is a mischievous mythical creature. Okay, so mischievous mythical creature. That's I think that's a good description.
I'm that.
Yeah, I'm that. Crispy says I'm so entertained. Yvette Leal says I'm getting much needed laughter. Gabe Leal says I'm getting lots of good stand-up material for later shows. Kenneth Dunner Jr. says Chris Pinadella, I'm glad you are.
I'm going to give you one more. Do I have time to share one more thing?
Sure.
Shortly. We got to wrap up soon. I got to go.
So here's what I'm going to share with you. So I was in a body psychotherapy, core energetics, advanced training retreat session for a weekend. And I was with a friend of mine. He and I were both therapists in training. I already practiced my own form of body therapy and training. And I happened to wrap around my head, as I'm doing right this second in the mirror, a scarf that I had, like something like this, around my head. And it looked ridiculous. It was so silly to look at. And the exercise, there we go, was from a woman who was a specialist advanced therapist from the US who is coming to show us 30 therapists in training the right way to be a considerate therapist. Okay. And so in this particular exercise, one was going to be Freud, one's going to be Jung, or one's going to be a client, one's going to be a patient. And I had this silly scarf like I have now on my head. This is my jester's hat transformed. And suddenly my friend, who was the client and I was the therapist, or the vice versa, it didn't really matter, could not stop laughing. We started to laugh. And we laughed so much that the entire class burst into, you know how this happens sometimes, contagious enthusiasm, because we were having such a good time. It was a very therapeutic moment, mind you. And the teacher, in her own, as many people who have to be serious were in serious way, said, "You're not being good therapists that are just listening and being serious in the way that I want to train you." I was having such a good time because I know the velocity of ridiculosity. And they, like you right now, might be laughing as this hat falls off my head. So hats off to you. That's my added view.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to wrap up quickly on these comments. Some of them, I'm not going to share all of them. Kenneth Dunner Jr., you all love this therapeutic coach tonight. Kenneth says, and Gabe says, thank you for the invite, Kenny, on LinkedIn. I will never forget this show. I love that, Gabe Leal. Thank you so much. I will never forget this show either. Gary is an absolute legend. And a lot of people have found it very entertaining. Chris P says, Gabe Leal, this is legendary. I love that. Legendary, yes. I just legendary. Legendary. What else have we got here? Kenneth Dunner Jr. is having a great laugh. He's got lots of laugh emojis there. Okay, what else we got? Chris P says, dude hasn't taken a second to breathe in. I know he definitely has. He definitely has.
Thanks for the reminder. It's good I practice what I preach. Thank you, Chris.
Gabe Leal says, this is a lesson for all live stream creators to vet your guests before having them on your show. Oh, Gabe, that's a bit harsh. Now, you know they say hurt people, right? That's a nasty thing to say. Gary and I go back years. He's an absolute bloody legend, and I would not have had Gary on the show. We would not have had him on the show if he wasn't an absolute legend. So whatever you think of him, that's your opinion, and you can keep it to yourself. So thank you. Chris P says, I'm legit cracking up. See, it's funny. Sometimes people like to put other people down to have a joke. You don't need to put other people down.
It's not a joke. That's not a joke. It's a showing of one's inner wounding that's not fully healed. And that's okay. I accept it as a therapist and a therapeutic coach. I accept it. I'm used to in my life being an outcast, being an eccentric, being wildly creative among a pack of wildly creative people. And you know what? I choose what feels good and true and sovereign to myself. And in that being authentic in me, there's one single message that people get from me in this lifetime. Oh, I feel safe being myself. Whether you're accepted or accepting yourself, or others reject or judge you, discriminate against you, or in some way put you down. So I accept that, and I accept that as a gift, even though it was shared as a dual-edged sword, as a bit of a put down. I know you meant it in both ways, because we always do, multiple messages of meaning, and that's fine. I'll take the yes, and I'll bring the yes out, bring the light out of the dark. Absolutely, there's a place for all of it.
Chris P says, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Thank you for that, Chris P.
What is it, Chris, that's the funniest thing? Say, pray tell. What is that?
I think they're all on the neck movement. Yvette Leal says, yep, I stretch my neck too.
Good.
So she's been stretching it. Kenneth's done a
because it's an inside job. It's an inside job. And when you stretch from the inside out, then what you say on the inside reaches others without trying so hard. I reach myself first. Never thirst.
Yvette Leal, I saw some hand action. He's getting sucked in. Okay, Kenneth Dunner Jr. Yvette Leal, hands and fingers too. Oh my gosh. Yes, look, you'll just have to watch the replay. Yvette says I didn't catch it. That's okay. There's probably lots that you didn't catch here on this show. So I highly recommend watch the replay. Yes, definitely entertainment, Yvette Leal. Yes, there's lots of funny comments there. Yes, beautiful. All right, what else we got? Okay, I'm going to go to how people can connect with me. All right, so you can go here to my Linktree /Aldwin, linktr.ee/Aldwin, and there you will find some tips to gain TV exposure on my media website. If you want to be seen, heard, and known, then reach out. I can definitely help you do that in multiple ways. We do have a Fear to Freedom book coming up. Where do you have fear in your life? Where do you have fear embodying your amazing presence? Where do you have fear in your life, and how can you transform it to freedom? This is an amazing book where all these phenomenal people have come forward to share their story, many for the first time, share their story of how they've overcome some kind of challenge and how they've got out there and they've now found a place of freedom for themselves. And if you are going to fully embody your presence and show up as Gary shows up and is fully embodied in his self-expression, to do that, you've got to be willing to be able to handle when people don't like it, because not everyone likes you right now. Not everyone is going to like you in the future, and that's okay. Not everyone is your people. Everyone is where they're at. What you want to do with those people is you want to bless and release with love. They are not your people. So I recommend, toughen yourself to criticism, because to fully get yourself out there to present powerfully as Dr. Gary Wallman does. He is the presentation doctor. He teaches you how to present powerfully for those who want to present powerfully. For those who want to hide behind a locked Facebook profile, well, you're in a whole other league of your own, okay? So just stay in your own little world and live behind your locked profile with your cartoon image that is not actually you. It's you and another animal, or it's something else that's not actually you. And I recommend the world needs more people who are real. The world needs more people who are fun. The world needs more people who are fully self-expressed. I truly believe. And this is why 1/3 of people die by the age of 65 and 90% of people die with regrets, because I truly believe because you're not fully self-expressed, and there's things holding you back. You have some fear over that. You have some wounds over that, and that's okay, because we all do. We all have some kind of wound of I'm not loved, I'm not good enough, I don't belong. We all have or have had at some point. And the minute you get conscious to the fear, the minute you can move through it, with power. You can hip hip hooray all you like, and you can, have an amazing life. I think that's really what it's all about. Now, my quote today is one from Body Wisdom, and it's some wisdom lives in your body before your mind can explain it. Trust what your bones know. Trust what your bones know. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. And trust yourself, my friends. Trust yourself. Thank you so much, everyone who has joined us. Chris P says he's astounding. So many beautiful comments. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I love this guy, Chris P. He says he's amazing. Thank you for the comments. Thank you so much. Really enjoy that. And Yvette says, I love the rep. Thank you so much. Keep going. This is good, Yvette. Look, we've gone for 2 hours.
To be continued.
Most likely we'll get Gary back on. Thank you for sharing our comments. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you so much. Thank you. Blessings to you. Please share the love if you've enjoyed this. Follow us all. Let's connect. And here's to you having your most extraordinary life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Final comments. Ken, Gary, any final comments? No.
This is where it all begins.
This is the end, my only friend, the end. The Doors. I did love the Doors. It is so good. In fact, today, this show's been so good. I'm actually going to give us all the clap. Yay! And we are going to wrap it there on the clap. Yay! Well done, well done, well done. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye. See you. Bye. Bye.